Bakayat, Bakayat. Hello, hello. Let me make sure everything is connected and everything is running nice before we start
Okay,
and get
sounds good.
the everything running. Like to hear the sound. Okay, we have the sound. We have the sound.
Is it
Hello, hello.
is it live?
Yes, this is a live.
Oh, it's live.
It's live. It's live. It's live.
It's live. Oh my gosh.
I always
You're
see.
always recording live?
I have to do it this way because whenever I start my life, I have to go make sure that it's not on private on the Facebook part.
Oh.
And then we kick off. We kick off on eat day. On eat day.
Eat day.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to Madalascar podcast. We are here. I'm in my eat outfit. You see me.
Looking
We
fresh.
are fresh and fly. Eid day, Ramadan finally ended, and we are here with somebody that does business in our community and do help out in many other events that happen here. Runs a red carpet and runs many other businesses, and we'll be here to hear it from her own self. We have Princess Bay.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm so happy to be here. I'm quite humbled and excited to
Nice.
be here with you today. Congratulations on everything, and Eid Mubarak.
Thank you. Okay, okay. You know your day. Okay, okay. You know that
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what's been going on with you?
It's a lot been going on with me, besides my wonderful husband
Nice,
marrying me.
nice.
Um,
Congratulations on that. Wow.
yeah. I fully dedicated my business and everything that I do to God because, I've been trying to shut down my business ever since the pandemic happened.
Wow, they've been trying to shut it down.
I wanted to shut down my business. Yeah. I
Why?
tried to shut it down so many, like, I got slandered really bad on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah, I got slandered really bad on Facebook and during the pandemic, and
Hmm.
it kind of took the wind out of my sails. And I was just like, you know what? I don't need this
Hmm.
anymore. I'm just gonna give up. And but God had other plans.
Do you mind? Would you mind elaborating? Yeah, we'll get to that. But first of all, for the people that doesn't know who Princess Bay is, give us a little brief history and background of you.
Okay, so Princess Bay is who I have become over the course of the past 25 years since I've been here in
Hmm.
Alaska. I've evolved into Princess Bay. I'm formally known as Bana Candy. Um, my testimony is, I used to work at the Bush Company, and I was a very serious drinker and drugger and party girl. And then one day, while visiting um, an ex in Japan, I broke my face drinking and was blackout drunk. And then I came back to Alaska. I went on a commercial fishing trip for a job in the summer. And I decided that I was not going to drink and drug anymore. And it's been 13 years. And then I started my business shortly after that, Diamond VIP Services, because I wanted to go see Twista sing Make You a Celebrity Overnight.
Hmm.
And shout out to Be Bad Productions. I was like, can I go to the concert if I host a red carpet? And Drea was like, I don't have a red carpet. And I was like, well, I'm going to get one. And so I did.
Wow.
And I was able to have a red carpet at that event.
That's
Um,
how you started
that's
actually the red carpet,
mm-hmm,
just because you wanted to get into the event.
mm-hmm,
You thought of, okay, what can I come up with?
mm-hmm. I wanted to bring some value to the event instead of just saying, "Can I have some free concert tickets?" you know,
Hmm.
um, and I wanted to be a part of the event. Like, I always want to be a part of the events
Wow.
in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not a musician. I'm not a rapper, especially since I quit doing cocaine. I cannot rap to save my life.
Man,
But anyways, I yeah, that's how I started Diamond VIP services.
wow, that's wow, that's a great thing. Like to think that that just started from that and it's going on for how many years now?
10 years. This year is my 10-year anniversary. Actually, in April. I don't remember the date, but I know it's this month. And I'm actually having a party to celebrate that in October. Um, I'm going to do a real nice party to
Hmm.
celebrate my 10 years of service. I haven't thought of the name yet, but the theme is diamonds and flowers. The
Hmm.
diamonds are for the pressure
And
that
it's
I've
gonna
been
be this
under.
year.
Yep, it's this year. The pressure that I've been under. And I realized this year that I'm soaring with eagles. And so it's the feathers. But,
Hmm.
and so after all of that happened, fast forward to 2020, the pandemic happened, and I was able to. Well, before the pandemic, as you know, I did the event out in the valley with the Cannabis Bowl,
Yes, that was a
and
nice
was
event.
really looking forward to, 2020. We had a
Mhm.
big lineup happening. I brokered the deal for Snoop Dogg to come up here,
What?
and yeah, but 2020 happened and everything kind of fell through, and so that was, I think it was either 2020, I don't know which one, but I got slandered, and there was over 1,000 comments on the post, and the person was just cussing me out. And
What was that about?
oh, I did a video. A friend of mine in Japan, what's up, shout out to Victor Newman. He did a song with Snoop Dogg called California Living,
Hmm.
and he gave me the song and said, "Hey, you can make a video with the song in Alaska, talking about how you have Cali vibes or Cali living or whatever." It was really just a feeling, and I asked somebody to you know do the casting for me,
Hmm.
help produce it, kind of be the director.
Hmm.
And they went kind of back and forth. Oh, I can do it. Oh, no, I can't do it. Oh, yes, I can do it. And then finally, on the day of, they were like, "Oh, I'm on my way to the valley. I'm going to do it." But I just didn't want to represent Alaska with the type of energy that person brings. I didn't want the alcohol and the drinking and all of those things that I was no longer a part
So
of.
was this supposed to be a show
No,
or
it was a video.
a video?
Yeah, it was a video. The video actually did get posted online.
What
They
was the
stole it from
what
me.
was the video about?
It was music from Snoop Dogg
Hmm.
and my friend Victor.
Okay.
It was an unreleased video,
Hmm.
and it was actually stolen from a group chat by the person who slandered me, and then it was put out on Facebook.
Hmm. I
And
see.
after they came online and talked a whole bunch of mess about me, said that I wasn't nothing, and Bana Candy, you ain't shit, and and I'm the
So they
original.
got mad because you released the video.
No, they got mad because they wanted to, after they said that they were going to be a part of it and they weren't going to be a part of back and forth,
Hmm.
and they showed up looking suspect, like they were high on drugs or something. I
Okay.
didn't want that energy. And so I didn't tell them where we were shooting, and they were mad. Really, that's how I feel. I never asked about it. I don't really care. Water under the bridge, but that's what happened. And after the video shoot happened and everything was done, said and done, I thought that I deleted them out of the Facebook group, but I didn't. And so they saw all of the activity in the Facebook group. They took the video, they posted it, they talked trash about me. It was really bad. There was over 1,000 people commenting and laughing, and I just kind of felt deflated because I've known that person for over 15 years. I thought of them as a friend, and then they did that to me, and I wasn't the only one. They did that. He talked that person talked trash about more than more than me. Everybody in the community doing stuff, and so I was in very good company there too. But I said all that to say that once that happened, I was deflated and I didn't want to be called Bana Candy anymore because of the memories and the energy and just everything that went along with that. To me, it was not the person that I wanted to be or no longer the person that I was. And so I asked God, please change my name. Give me a name that I can,
Lovely.
feel good about, something that I can relate to, and something that makes me, you know, makes me just grateful that you saved me. And so, like 2 years later, God said, okay, from now on, introduce yourself as Princess. And I was like, what? I mean, I worked at the Bush
So you did,
Company. I was an alcoholic. I was a drug addict. You want me to introduce myself as Princess? That doesn't work. And he said, yes, it does, because pray right now, sister. And I was like, oh, pray right now, sis. Princess. Oh.
okay. I
So
see.
now, when I introduce myself to people, I
Mm,
just ask them to call me Princess.
that is nice. And I
Yeah.
like the explanation on how you broke it down.
Thank you.
That is wow.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. That is a very that's a very long journey. I'm very sure that you are proud of yourself from explaining that the lifestyle you was living back then to now.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a good life. I enjoyed my life. I didn't think there was anything wrong with my life until I broke my face. Then I realized maybe there was something wrong with
Mhm.
my um with my with my actions. I don't think that I really understood that the person that I was, um there was somebody else inside of me until I met Jesse, honestly.
Nice. And the change.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it changed, but I definitely knew that he would be the one to help me realize who I really am and
Mm,
who I could really be.
that is awesome. That sometimes is great to have a partner in your life that is you can both understand each other and see the same vision that you both are going towards.
Yeah.
So now with that Diamonds VIP services, what other businesses did you form after that?
Well, Diamond VIP Services actually was a business that I formed after my other businesses. I think Diamond VIP
Oh, okay,
Services
so what's the
yeah, I think Diamond VIP Services was the business that, allowed me to introduce myself and really step out into the community. Prior to that, I had Bana Candy Unlimited International, which I've changed the acronym. It's BCUI. Um, and Bikui was like, me, because before I met Jesse, I was traveling internationally between here and Japan,
Oh,
and I was doing productions over there. And I also did like, um, hip hop events here, like not events per se, I guess parties where I would have feature different artists and stuff
oh
like
wow.
that. Bana Candy Flow Case, and yeah.
You
So
was like promoting events and
I was promoting artists at,
you
yeah.
was promoting artists too?
That's, yeah, yeah. You can ask about me.
Yeah.
You can ask your people, all your people that you be having on here. They know.
You know me and promoters we don't we like I'll just say majority, not all of them. We don't get along very well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I think that when you're bright and shining, that's what happens.
Yeah. Because okay, we will get into that later on. I want to stay on like the most important things first,
Okay.
which is the business and what you have
Yeah.
going on right now.
So where's that paper at? I feel bad, but it's just so much. I had to name it. a planet. Oh,
No, you good.
sorry. I had that on air thing. It's like, no, we're not.
That
I had to name it the Princess Planet because it's literally so much stuff going on
hmm.
with me. Um, Besides Diamond VIP services and Bikui, during the pandemic, I started Bay Streams Global, which is a 21st century production um, studio. It's kind of like an online, a virtual production
Oh wow.
studio, where I actually have a connection with a virtual studio where we can actually set up your virtual set. We
Hmm.
can do virtual events and
Hmm.
host hybrid events.
Wow, that is
And then Bikui is I changed that name to Be Kind, Unite Intentionally. So that's something else. It's kind of in the back burner, those two businesses. Last year, I started and launched the Alaska Media Firm, which I'm really excited about because the Alaska Media Firm, it was designed and it came to be so that I can meet other media professionals who are in production, like yourself, like shout out to Show Shop Productions. They collaborated with me last year. We came up with the Alaska Media Firm, and basically, they came on board to help me create the late night TV show
oh,
that I've
nice.
been trying to do for the last, I don't know, 20 years, called Late Night Alaska. And
Hmm.
that's something that I am actually currently working on, thanks to the Ujama Fund. I was awarded a small grant.
Yeah.
Yep. And
You gotta put me on how to get grants and stuff like that, man.
okay, just apply because that's all I know.
Yeah. Send me to the right
Okay, okay.
but
Yeah, we should have like a grant writing party and just all sit down and write grants together, and
that
whoever
would
gets it, we all just benefit.
that would be an awesome thing to do.
Hmm. So yeah, so that's the other thing. And then I stepped up and, after meeting my wonderful husband, and moving out of my apartment in the hood, um, I moved out to the valley, to the Matsu Valley, and because I have such strong ties with people here in Anchorage, I decided to step up as the Matsu Valley City Lead for
Wow.
Alaska Entrepreneurship Week. And so, yeah, that's how I was able to launch the Alaska Media Firm. And this year, I'm just starting out with planning in the Matsu Valley for Alaska Entrepreneurship Week. And
Hmm.
Alaska Media Firm is the official media sponsor for that. And, I'm definitely looking for talent and looking for people who want to have some more reach and get their business out there and do some media production and partner and collaborate with me.
Okay, so it's gonna be based off. Is it like a show?
Yeah, so Late Night Alaska is the
It's the name
TV
of the
show.
TV show. Okay.
And basically, I want to promote the Alaska lifestyle
Hmm.
from my perspective as a
Nice.
Black woman.
Nice.
I don't, it's not per se a Black woman. It's not like I'm not trying to only reach Black people. I want to reach everybody in Alaska. I want to show authentic Alaskan
Hmm.
lifestyle, tell true stories, and get real life stories from people. And I also want to shine a spotlight on the Christian artists of Alaska
Hmm.
because Christian artists, while they can perform and sing at church all day long,
Hmm.
I feel that, being in an environment where there's a lot of temptation, a lot of potential drug use, uh, probable drug use, and definitely a lot of alcohol consumption, I would like to provide a platform for them
Hmm.
that's family friendly, that
Nice.
has a lot of reach, and that I'm saying that's on television. I think that Alaska has a plethora of wonderful artists, and while the secular artists and hip hop artists and the country artists, everybody can go to the bar and sing and get some notoriety.
Hmm.
But I think that Christian music, where it is right now in
Yes.
the music industry, is
Mhm.
in a very good place. And there's a lot of Christian artists that have left Alaska
Hmm.
because they just don't have the opportunities that they have in the lower 48. And I believe that if we can create something and build something for the Christian artists, um, I think that we could probably keep some of those artists here to big up our state.
No, I heard. I personally don't know of any like Christian. There might be two because I'm Muslim and that's not the avenue
Hmm.
I look for.
Right.
But I've heard that the gospel music scene in Alaska is a is
It's
a very
growing up.
fast uprising scene,
It's a
even faster than the hip hop scene. I heard.
hmm Well, I hope that I have something to do with that because every month I host a holy hip hop event. It's
Yeah.
called Holy Karaoke, and basically what it is we just get together and we sing karaoke songs that are Christian,
Yeah.
that are holy hip hop, that are not secular.
Hmm.
And every other month I do an event here in Anchorage, at the church on the Central Lutheran Church on 15th, and I think it's 15th and Cordova.
Hmm.
The next one is April 17th, and it's going to be really big because it's the first quarter celebration, and we're going to have a VIP red carpet reception. We're going to have a special performer.
Oh wow.
We're going to have actual DJ, and there's gonna be some food and
Sounds like
mocktails.
a party, man.
It's gonna be we getting turned up for Jesus. That's what it's all about. We tough for Jesus, and it's called getting turned up for Jesus. That's my little acronym, tough
Oh,
Jesus.
that is. I see. Okay, so you like the head of the Christian gospel music community? Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm the head of it, but I definitely will admit that God has given me the opportunity to steward this event. And the first one I did was in 2022
Hmm.
over at Selfie World,
Okay.
and it was awesome,
Hmm.
but I couldn't afford it because I didn't have the equipment, and I had to hire a karaoke guy.
Okay.
And he didn't have a karaoke book full of Christian songs, and I felt some kind of way. I'm like, dude, I gotta pay this amount of money, and you don't even have a karaoke Christian book. What the heck?
I get. I guess he when he was coming there, he wasn't thinking that was the type
Well,
of event he was coming to do.
well, he did know,
He did
actually.
know.
Yeah, he
Well,
did
then
know.
he should have went home with half the price.
No, he was great. He was great.
Okay,
He
he
did
did.
an amazing job.
Okay.
But he also gave me the opportunity to see what I lacked and what I needed and how I could do it without having to come out of pocket, every
Hmm.
single time. And really, it was God. God made space and God created the lane and the proper steps for me to take so that I could do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on the community when it comes to helping in business wise?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that, but um, I I believe that most people in the community want to help. They
Hmm.
want to do stuff, um, just as long as it doesn't overshadow what they're doing.
Hmm. Elaborate that a little bit.
It means, like, you heard the saying, "Oh, I want everybody to win," just as long as they don't win the prize that I'm winning.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a crab in a bucket theme, um, but it's kind of like that. Am I making sense?
It's kind of I'm seeing the same thing in like kind of like the music side, but I'm trying
Hmm.
to stay away of that for a little bit. So you mean that's how it is in the business side?
I, you know, I, people help who they want to help, and people promote who they want to promote. People show up at events they want to show up at.
Hmm.
That's pretty much it. Like, I honestly believe that people who want to help, they do.
Hmm.
You know, they're Jasmine is living proof that there are people out there that want to
Yep,
see people win. She
definitely.
is living proof of that. You know, um, it's just a matter of finding, those people
Mhm,
who accept you for who you are, willing to give you constructive criticism,
mhm,
willing to, put you in position, you know, and accept you for who you are, and it's not easy. It's not easy finding
mhm,
that. But I do think that the community genuinely wants to help other people.
mhm,
Um, I also think that it's a lot of, transactional mindset
mhm,
too. It's more, I don't want to say competitive, but sometimes I feel like that,
mhm.
sometimes I feel like that.
That is, people are competing against each other. In what terms would, like? Because I'm trying to understand it, like in terms of business and helping out in the community, like how that would look like.
Yeah, so I think it's, from what I've learned, from, very wonderful business people that I'm close to, is
Mm,
that when it comes to business and community, it's two different things.
mm,
And I'll be the first one to say that I get it wrong all the time when it
mm.
comes to business and community. I'm still learning how
Excuse
to
me.
navigate not only in business,
Mhm,
but in mixing business with community.
mm.
Um, you know, that's why I'm so grateful that Jasmine is my friend. I don't know, she might be kind of mad at me these days, but she's like my sister, and I know that even when I fuck up and do something wrong, I know that she is going to let me know and give me the opportunity to course correct. You know what I mean? Um, but at the same time, we're all out here trying to do our
Yes,
best. And that's what she always impresses upon me. Like, you're not the only one that's making mistakes out here.
definitely.
And so I think that, when it comes to the community, trying to help the community, I think that it's there. Sometimes I just don't feel like I just, I just feel like I'm just not where they want to help. I don't feel like all the time where I want to be a part of this community thing. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm never invited, or I don't get to go, or nobody asked me, or I'm not in the loop.
Hmm,
Well, maybe I'm not in the loop and maybe I'm not invited, but that doesn't mean that what I have to offer is not valuable. It's just not valuable to what they're doing and what they have going on.
hmm,
And so it's a matter of acceptance,
hmm,
and it's a matter of, you know God will lead the right people to you.
hmm,
It's not your business to be out here doing everything.
hmm.
You got to exercise, for me anyways, you got to exercise faith, and you got to trust the process, and let the Holy Spirit lead you, or lead me.
This definitely. So when you see you at these events, right, doing the red carpet and stuff, how do those connections or lines of business normally work between you and the people that are promoting the event?
Well, I'll be honest and say it has not been easy.
Hmm.
It really has not been easy. I'm surprised that I'm on my 10 year.
So, court, how you
I'm
doing?
I'm surprised.
Businessman, we need you here for the business questions.
Who's that?
Cordless.
Oh, cordless. Hey. It's kind of like, mm, I can't believe that I'm still in business after 10 years. I'm gonna be honest with you,
Hmm,
because for several years I tried to introduce my business to this event or
hmm,
to this event, or how about if I give you a package, if you book 3 events and I'll give you a discount. And the response was crickets every single time.
hmm,
And I would show up at events, I would always support, I would even sponsor the red carpet. Like, nobody was paying me for years. When you see me out at different events, I wasn't getting paid for a lot of
So
those.
what was you doing it
I was doing it so that I could add value to our events and be a part of the community. And my goal was to, level up, and make people feel good on, wherever they're at, no matter what. Just because we're in Alaska, it doesn't mean that we can't have a red carpet. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're walking around at the event wearing Carhartts and bunny boots.
for?
This is our Alaska chic,
Yeah.
and you're a very important person. You showed up today. You deserve to know that you sparkle and shine. You don't have to be out here fresh and clean, looking all fresh. You know what I'm saying? You Alaska, you in Alaska. This is the upper one.
Yeah.
This is God's country, and I wanted to give people the feeling that I felt when I was, entertaining, and when
Mm.
people were, you know, paying attention to me.
Mm.
Once I stopped drinking and drugging and going out and being that party girl, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of street cred. I lost a lot of connections because I was no longer hanging out with those people. I was not as popular as I was. People still knew who I was,
Mm.
but I wasn't, you couldn't come over to my house for the after party. I wasn't going to meet you at the club later on. Like, my whole everything changed. And so I was trying to find who I was.
Mm.
And the only way that I knew how was to interact with people in a way that made them feel good about who they are and where they're at.
Mm. That is, yeah, that's a great way of first starting that. And now with that going right, you said for years you worked and you didn't make no money from it, huh?
Hmm.
Now later on down the line, right? How where did you and when you hit up people about the business aspect of it, you never get a response.
Not always. I mean, sometimes I did, um, but not always. Things are picking up though. In the last few years, I will say that things have been picking up. Um, I've done just yesterday. I did a red carpet at the Performing Arts Theater
Hmm.
for the Anchorage Concert Association. Um, Cirque on or Afrique on Cirque.
I missed that event.
It was amazing.
Okay, give me how is it like when like the Anchorage, yeah, those people hit you
Anchorage
up to
concert.
do a red carpet setup versus when a promoter hits you up out here that we know in our community to do a red carpet event.
Mm. Well, it's kind of like night and day,
Hmm.
because I cannot remember the last time a promoter hired me to set up at their event,
Hmm.
to be totally honest with you. The last time a promoter hired me to set up at an event, I can't remember. I cannot honestly remember. Um, that's not true because Jasmine
Hmm.
hired me for the expo,
Fashion.
for the fashion show. She hired me for the fashion show. I sponsored the first day, but she paid me for the second day.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
Jasmine.
I don't really think of Jasmine as a promoter, though.
Yeah, I don't.
You
I
know what
don't.
I
Yeah,
mean?
Jasmine is more than
She's,
more of like
yeah. I don't
a
think of her.
community
She is.
figure.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't. But she did pay me. She
yeah.
did pay
I
me.
consider her like one of the highest community like representatives
Advocates.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
Anchorage or even Alaska because she's on the news like
Hmm.
every 5 seconds.
I call her the.
Yeah, Jasmine,
I.
all of
I.
us on the news every 5 seconds.
Yeah. I
What?
call. I call her the unofficial mayor of
Yeah,
Alaska.
man. Come on,
She's the
man.
mayor of Black Alaska, anyways.
Yeah, going for Alaska, man. Very sweet. You going for it,
Mhm.
Jasmine?
Mhm.
You going for it, man?
But yeah, I think, to be perfectly honest, if it wasn't for um Jasmine believing in me over all these years, I don't know if I would still be in business. and I don't know. And also Irene, my friend Irene, because I was like done with it. And I even told Jasmine I was done with Diamond. I had to put Diamond down. She said, I don't know. And then my friend Irene was like, you know, why don't you stop doing Diamond VIP services for people and do it for God? And just give your business to God and then let Him have your business and see what
Mm.
happens. And I said, okay. And then the next thing I know, Anchorage Concert Association picked me up. I've been doing, you know, events with them for the last few years.
Mm.
And I'm so excited. We're actually doing a collaboration. I'm bringing a friend of mine, Gerard Chocolate Crawford.
Mm.
He is Lauren Hill's drummer,
Oh
and
wow.
he's actually on tour, or he's on Broadway right now with Alicia Keys at Hell's Kitchen. He opened at the U.S. Open, and he's done. His resume is unbelievable. But I met him several years ago when I was living in Tokyo, and we've just maintained a friendship over the years. And I've always wanted him to come. So when I met Becky and I was telling her about my friend Chocolate, I think it would be great to get him here. So yeah, we're collaborating, and that's supposed to happen next April. And we are looking for,
Mm.
you know, we're looking for sponsors and people who want to participate and be a part of that
Mm.
next year. And we want to like do a residency so that he can come and do some stuff at the schools in Anchorage as well as in the Valley.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna. So now with that being said, like I hear you since you said earlier that you promoted events,
Hmm.
and I told you me and promoters do not get along very well.
Right.
So up here, right, from your observation and what you have done, I always said what I hear from the most is with promoters when people get to do talent or performance, they only my problem is they get paid and charge at the door,
Mm.
but the artists and the people get to leave with nothing. What is
Well,
your take on that?
okay. So I I've never been a promoter.
Hmm.
As far as owning a promotions license and having to pay
Yeah,
for
go ahead.
all of that stuff. Um, but what I will say is that people should be compensated some in some way, shape, or form. Not every promoter can afford. I don't know. On the one hand, if you can't afford to pay your talent, then maybe you should not be a promoter.
Hmm.
One. On the other hand, if you're a newbie out here as an artist and you don't know how to properly, you know, manage your business, then that's something that I mean that artist needs to think about. And then on the flip side of it, we live in a very small community that's detached from the rest of the United States. It's important for us to collaborate, build one another up, support one another, you know, when we're starting out. And as the progression happens, there should be payment. I would not expect, for me, getting two tickets to go see Twisted and set up a red carpet that I had never done before and not getting paid, just getting those two tickets, that was enough for me. But as a seasoned red carpet hostess, now mind you, at that point, I had hosted red carpets before. I had done MC gigs. I had done international stuff. But
But
nobody in Alaska cares about that. They don't care about my resume. you know um all they care about is how much money is going out. You know what I'm saying? And we're in Alaska. This is an opportunity for you to put something on your resume. So you kind of, I think it's kind of like, both people have to meet in the middle. I think that if you're seasoned, performer, and you've been working on your craft for 5 or 10 years, you deserve to be paid, period. I think that if you're a newbie, and you're still working on things,
starting
then
out.
You deserve something,
Mhm.
even if it's two. If it's two tickets to get into the party, that's something. If it's two tickets and a couple of drinks to get into the party, that's something. It That's still money coming out of the promoter's pocket, and I think that should be, I think some grace should be given to the promoters on that level. Me, I'm not on that level. Like when I was doing my parties, I was paying for everything, and artists can come and they can just perform, and it was fine. Like people would pay $3 to get in, whatever. And all of that money, wherever that money always went to whoever was helping me, whether it was a DJ, whether it was somebody setting up, whether I was buying drinks for, people who showed up for me, or who was performing, like I was paying. So it's I don't know. I think it's really hard to say because we live in Alaska, and I I personally feel like the best way that we're gonna win is if we all have one accord. If we're on one accord. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing what I'm doing for over 20 years in Anchorage. People know that they know about the Bana Candy Show. They know who I am. They know that what I've done. They've seen me. I'm not new to this, but things change. I'm a different person than I was. So that's why I'm really glad that you asked me to be on the show because I don't always feel like the community really gives me any kind of credit for what I've done and and who I am to the community, what I bring to the community. I don't really feel oftentimes like people in the community think of me as a community member, and you know it's hurtful. It's hurtful a lot of times, um, to be the last when an event is being planned, to not be a part of the planning, to be like last minute, oh, let me call Bana real quick, let's get the red carpet, at the last minute. Those kind of things kind of hurt, you know because I do feel like i have I've been available, I've made myself available, and I've showed up, and I want to be a part of the planning. I want to be, you know, involved from the beginning. Like, but maybe that's not where I'm supposed to be too. And
Why do you think that that is they don't give you your flowers?
well, that's not for me. I don't know if it would be appropriate. Well, I don't know if it's really appropriate for me to say. Um, because those are my feelings. You know what I'm saying? And just because they're my feelings, one, it doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it wrong. It's just how I feel. And I can't say why somebody doesn't want to give me my flowers. All I can say is I'm not perfect. And when you're when people see you at your core, at who you really are, my experience, when they see you for who you are, and they see how you are with people and how you do things, sometimes it may be at odds with what they're doing. Maybe it's just a different style, and I think maybe that's it. Maybe it's just two different styles, and it's just it's a part of the growing process. I think, you know because, like, I don't know why people don't want to give me my flowers, but I like flowers. I like flowers, I do. And and I'm not trying to be all like, poor me and nobody cares about me. I mean, I moved to the valley. I live in the valley now, and I still have some strong ties to Anchorage, but I don't really feel like anybody cares in Anchorage. I really don't. Like, Well, that's how I feel. So it's maybe it's time for me to do my own thing.
So with the red carpet, right?
Yeah.
Since like it's been a different approach with that. Like your friend told you to go ahead with do it for like Jesus.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about hosting it as your own events and doing the red carpet there and inviting people in the show to do stuff like that? You ever thought of it like that?
Yeah, so that's actually what's happening right now. I started with Tough Jesus. I started that community on Facebook.
Tough Jesus.
Yeah, and Tough Jesus is like it's a Facebook community where we just, talk about God and we pray and we share our testimonies and there's devotionals. It's just a community of Jesus freaks like me. And the Tough Jesus events, they're called the Holy Karaoke Kickbacks. And
Hmm.
that's where we,
The Holy Karaoke Kickbacks.
yeah.
Yo, these names are fire.
Oh, yeah, I'm on fire for God. I'm supposed to be lit. That's Miles Minnick line. I can't take credit for that. But so yeah, so I have been thinking about doing my own events, but like I said, people in Anchorage and in the valley, well, in the valley it's kind of different because people turn up out there for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, they turn up for the
So you
holy
get more love
karaoke.
in the
I
valley than
do.
here?
I do.
Why is everybody
I
always
do.
telling me that? Even Fairbanks tell me they get more support for their acts there than Anchorage produce. And
Yeah.
we have a like I, c- I don't even know, like 600 more thousand people than here.
Well, the reason why is because Anchorage, you know, Anchorage has a very what is it?
Hmm.
Anchorage is very clicky, you know? And if you're not in the clique, if you're not in the crew, if you're not popular, you know, if you're not I don't know.
Speak your mind, man. This is madness. I don't know if you've seen the other one, but I've been taking it very. I think it's today is Eid,
It
and
is.
I'm just in good vibes. So I didn't make the interview hot, hot, hot.
Okay.
So it's like a
Okay.
cruising
Okay.
interview.
I
Your interview is the calmest interview I have done so far.
Oh, really?
I think it helped you with that one.
Oh, oh, you guys are lucky.
Maybe
It's
we'll bring
Eid.
Benna back and maybe she
Our
go home and
princess.
watch this. Like, yeah, I wasn't mad enough. Like madness was supposed.
No, this is great. I'm happy. But I think the reason why people are more supportive of the community in Fairbanks is because it's a smaller it's a smaller community.
Hmm.
There's more, there's less to do and there's more people and it's easier for them to come together. Whereas in Anchorage, everybody's got something going on.
Hmm.
Everybody's doing something. And you know, I'm happy to be where I'm at with the event that I'm doing, and I want to do more events, and I'm planning on doing more events. But the events that I'm doing, they don't have nothing to do with twerking and popping and twerking, drinking, and they don't have nothing to do with that. So it's a whole
Demographic of
different
people.
scene. I would like for people to still come and check out the Holy Hip Hop Party. I would like for people to still come and sing some Christian karaoke songs,
Bring
but the
your Bibles
expectation's
and
not
join.
there. You don't have to
Bring,
bring your
yeah.
Bible. There's
Sorry,
games.
don't bring the Bible.
You don't have to. You can bring it if
You
you
can
want
bring it.
to,
Live in the
but
past.
we're not having church up in there. We're getting turned up for Jesus. Like there's games and there's karaoke. And if you want to pray, if you want to go and worship in the corner and talk to God, you can do that. But that's not why we're there. We're there really to just honor God with our presence and our gifts.
Hmm.
Um, but I think honestly that I think the reason why people, that's the case when it comes to like a smaller area of people, it's easier for them to come together. I think. I don't know, but and I think that the community, when it comes to community and when you have a smaller community, it's just easier for them to be able to support one another.
Right.
Whereas Anchorage, it's like a little Hollywood. Everybody's their own star for their own, group of people, and that's where they go.
I think that's where the problem lies because I will see events here, right? Like when I see Fairbanks events, it's like a lot of people they having fun. But I'll see also events here where it's only the artists there.
Mhm.
And even when there's only the artist is separated, everybody is just, oh, I gotta keep my energy for my time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Why do you think it's like we have more but less activities?
Mm,
And why is promoters not working together? Why don't you think?
I don't know why they don't work together, but I do know that, as far as like when an as far as like an artist performing and the people are, not really sharing their energy or getting into it, like they're not there for the artists. They're there for them. You see,
Hmm.
they're on their phones, they're FaceTiming, they're taking pictures, they're not, they're just there to be out. Like, I don't know, and I don't really go out that much anymore. I went out for the first time in a while last night, and I had a great time, but I don't know. I haven't been to the club, Coots or any place like that in a really long time. Um, when I go out though, if I'm out, you're gonna see me on the dance floor. You're gonna see me having a good time. I'm gonna be out there. I don't twerk that much anymore, but I'll be out there. I'm gonna be doing something. I might look a little crazy, but I'll be doing something.
Something nice,
Hmm.
nice, nice. And with that being said, like if you was given, what do you think Anchorage lacks when it comes to coming together as a community that you would change?
I Humility, maybe. I think that humility is something that may be lacking, and also I think that the a real sense of unity is definitely lacking, because and I know what I bring to the table. I mean, just having Diamond VIP services is one thing, um, but I've been told by a lot of people that I have really good ideas, and I do really well in certain things, outreach and talking to people and all of those kinds of things. And, you know, to not have the opportunity to utilize those gifts that I have within my community, it's very hurtful for me to have this platform, or this business, Diamond VIP Services, that can be used to help and, to lift up people. Um, it kind of hurts, I think that humility, and I think that if people just, you know, give give other people the opportunity, everybody wants to be the boss,
Hmm.
and nobody wants to, you know, follow directions. Nobody wants to admit when they're wrong.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to be accountable for their bullshit.
Hmm.
And nobody wants to have an accountability police officer around. Like,
Hmm.
I, you know, Jasmine is really cool with me because she says, the one thing that I love about you is that you don't play, like, you don't take any shit. And it is true because one, I'm too old, and two, I've given a lot of myself throughout this journey,
Hmm.
who I am. I have given everything, and I would do it all over again, differently, of course. I would do some things differently, but I would do it all over again because I know that Diamond brings value to every, event that I've ever participated in.
Who are some people you would like to collaborate and work with?
Hmm. I would like to collaborate more with the Performing Arts Center. Not, it's great being in partnership with the Anchorage Concert Association. Excuse me, but I would love to partner with them as far as the opera and the the plays that they do during the winter time, the Nutcracker and all that stuff. I would also love to partner with like Alaska
And
Media.
an orphan group.
Um, yeah, there's quite a few. I would love to partner, with more of the churches. I would love to partner with the Visit Anchorage. I would love to partner. You know, I would love to partner with more charities. Like I just want to be available and be of service and make money as well. You know.
Definitely. Definitely. So you guys heard it. We're gonna clip this and make sure all of you guys hear this. There should be no reason why you should not be working with Bena. She's bringing this great thing to your events, bringing class to your events,
Mm.
bringing quality to your events, huh? Bringing, you know, Paris to your event. Basically, we can call it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I
that's so
know, Bena,
nice.
you told me before we even get to leave, because I know today is kind of Eid, so we gotta,
Yeah,
and
I
you also
understand.
have stuff, businesses you have to take
Yes,
care of. That you
yes,
told me you are a very busy person. We're glad
yes.
to even
I'm
have you here.
grateful to be here.
What I know, you have some events coming up very soon, so tell the people some of the events that is coming up that are very near.
Okay. So every second Tuesday, or excuse me, every second Thursday of the month in the Matsu Valley or in Wasilla specifically, I do the Holy Karaoke event at Joe and Charlie's. And then every other month in Anchorage, I do Holy Karaoke at the Central Lutheran Church. The next one that's coming up is April 17th. It's from 5 until 9. And from 5 to 6 is the red carpet reception.
Oh wow!
And then from 6 to 9, I think I'm going to go a couple of extra hours because we're going to have a DJ and it's going to be, karaoke. We're going to have
Hmm.
a performance and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and I got some announcements to make. So I'm really excited
Get
about
with
that.
this guy named you know this guy named Marcus something.
Yeah, yeah.
He's one of the person I can think of when it comes to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
something.
So Marcus actually was one of the panelists last year when I launched the Alaska Media Firm.
Oh, nice.
We had a conversation and it was really nice. He performed his latest work. Also, Edwin came through and
Okay.
he performed as well. He works over at or yeah he works over at Shiloh.
Nice.
It was great. Yeah.
That's nice. So those are the events that you have coming up.
Yeah, yep. Those are the events that have coming up. Besides the collaboration with the Anchorage Concert Association with bringing chocolate up here next year,
Oh wow.
I'm really excited about that.
Hmm.
So, if you know anybody that wants to participate as a volunteer or if you want to be a part of that, please just reach out. We are definitely excited about that one. And
Chocolate.
he's a
Hmm.
drummer. Yep. He was actually the drummer for the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So that
Wow.
album, yeah.
That's big moves happening there.
Yeah, so let's see. What else do I have going on? I'm planning Alaska Entrepreneurship Week in the Matsu. So ACU in the Matsu. That's happening September 29th through October 3rd. And my biggest event that I'm planning right now is the 10-year celebration for Diamond VIP services. And there's going to be opportunities for everybody to send me a shout out and be a part of the program book. If you're interested, just let me know. I'll
Definitely.
send you all the details for that.
Definitely.
But that one's going to be in October as well. And,
October.
you know, feathers and diamonds.
Feathers and diamonds. You heard it here,
Hmm.
and that was Princess. If you know, is pray
Pray right now, sis.
pray right now, sis. As you're
Hmm.
watching this, after you're done watching this, go and pray right now. If you're not, you and Jesus will dispose it together. Definitely, that was Princess on the Mad Alaska podcast. Like I said, I've been bringing y'all a lot of rappers now. Eid is ending now. We are ending Eid with a good vibe, and this was a very good interview. I'm very sure we all will agree that this is first interview. I did no messy business, no nothing, just clean, good, cleaner than my outfit, man.
Yeah, you
That
you definitely inspired me. I will say that I am starting a podcast in the valley.
okay in the
Yeah,
valley?
yeah, I'm starting a
So
podcast in the
close up to
valley.
that.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go.
called the Princess Planet Podcast.
Princess Planet podcast. What is it gonna be about?
Well, the Princess Planet Podcast is the new PPP, and we're cashing everything outside. We paying attention to your behaviors,
Hmm?
and everybody's gonna get
Yeah?
checked.
You mean checks?
It's
What?
not gonna be madness, but I think I am gonna let my
Ah, come on,
authentic
man.
self.
You got me
It's,
excited. Look at me.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
smiling ear to ear.
yeah. It's gonna be. I'm just gonna be my authentic self.
Yeah?
Yes, the pray right now, sister, is gonna be loud with my prayers, and I'm gonna need y'all to pray for me.
I
Yeah,
pray. I pray.
thank
I
you,
pray for
thank
you.
you, thank
Wow.
you,
Y'all
thank
heard it?
you.
Y'all heard it? It's about to be hot. Get your high heels, your tea, your vodkas, your tequila, Jose, Jose, whatever one you drink it. Let me toast you with my Sprite.
Okay.
But thank you very much, Bella, for
No,
coming
thank
on the
you.
show. And definitely, like you heard, if any of the things Bella said applied to you or could bring any type of collaboration of good thing out of it, connect with her and make that happen. With that
Yes.
being said, thank you very much for
Thank
coming on the
you.
show.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. You guys have a nice day. Let me stop the live as soon as I can hit the stop. Oh, I seen that movie. Okay. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.